So I decided to do Camp NaNo. So the interesting thing about this is I have a few projects in the works in varying stages of completion. I've said that before, but this go round, this idea got in my head that is like, I don't want it to take too much time away from the books that I'm like currently working on to get pushed out, but at the same time I don't want to deny myself this like idea that's like sitting on the back of my head. So with NaNo this year, with camp anyways, I plan on devoting time to that at the same time as I devote time to this other book that I'm working on that's almost done, and kind of alternate between the two and let those 4 or 5 weeks technically of Camp NaNo April 2024 be devoted to that. I'm already pretty much ahead, like I'm right on track ahead or whatever, because I'm not doing like a word count thing. It really doesn't matter because I'm making my own rules. But I think I'm going to, once I get settled, I want to dive into the new book that's on my mind, that because I've been playing with it, this idea for like the last 2 days or so, and bouncing notes off with my homegirl. Me and her locked in when it comes to this book stuff. And then the other one that is pretty much done, I do have to do some edits to it. I'm going through like the second draft. I'll probably be doing that as well. So I'm going to try to alternate maybe by weeks or even by project, or just work on them both and just chronicle that. So you may get a week, this is what we're doing. You might get a collection of different things, but either way, that's my plan for NaNo 2024. And I'll get more into it maybe a little bit later.
I got floaters in my eyeball, coasters by the shot glass, smoking let my mind fall, plenty roaches, no ass.
So with this new story that I'm doing, it is, I don't even know how to really describe it, because at this point in the game, I'm getting all my thoughts out. I can say it is a story set in the summer, and I'm toying with the idea of making it either span a week, a weekend, or like the full summer. And don't know when this will come out. Not really even too concerned with it. I just know that for NaNo, I feel like this is the better time than any to just really hunker down and focus on this. So my thought process was, though I am working on my work in progress and getting that up to whatever so that it can be released, I have been spending so much time with it. Now I'm not burnt out. I just want to distance myself from it for a minute. Like, I don't want that to be the only thing I'm working on. And so with this new little idea, I've went through and made me a little Pinterest board and start adding to it. Have a full playlist for the story, which is like, and I mean, it is 70 plus. I think the last time I added to it was like 77 songs. That's not going to be the full list. I'm going to have to like really chop at that, because there's a specific sound that I'm going for. But I, whenever I can like package it and make it available, I'll of course link it. But so for right now, I am brainstorming, thought dumping everything that came to mind, and using that Pinterest board to kind of pull from. In my head, it's 3 characters, like a friend group of 3. One of the, so there's a photo that kicked this whole thing off. I'm gonna hold that back for a minute because I want to add to it and kind of make this collage of like mood board this mood board for it. But the group therapy, they came to mind, not specifically for their aesthetic, like their specific, like the way they look in their face and body, but just them as a group. I like their fun, fresh, cool kids. Don't stone me for that, but they, in the process of developing this story, they are a group who came to mind and like kind of stuck there. So like, think of them, think of like summer in the city, hanging out with your friends, water fights, drive-in movies, live shows, skating, just all that good stuff. So that's where I am now, and I'm going to kind of work on that and let this be the thing that starts me off. And then maybe, I don't know if it'll be in this vlog, I'll switch gears and get over into the work in progress that I'm doing to prepare to be published and work on that and whatever else. Y'all know how it goes. So happy camp to everyone who is participating. And if you're not, happy watching these videos as we all scramble to get some of this work done. So yeah, Project Summer.
Critters, jitters going through my spine. Should be used to a state of a poor man's mind. It's just PB, no J, Kool-Aid, no sugar. Boiling the bath, water for warm showers in winter. Work cooking, she clean. Mama was a magician. She switched it and turned the tub to a washing machine. Air drying and clothes, hanging up with my woes. Enemies was befriending me, laughing about all my lows. But it's on. Greet me with a hey and a wave, with a reel at. These fishermen lines and catch them trying to bring the reel back. Guess it's time to bring the...
So with this, I am debating on if I should pants this. I haven't pantsed the book in years, but I'm probably not going to do that. So I've come up with the hook for each character and kind of what the overarching complication is. And this is really fun because so this book was going a few different ways. In my mind, I see Moesha, I see Neo Soul, I see big city, thinking like do the right thing. And it's not necessarily like, oh, I'm in New York, I'm in LA or nothing like that. It's just the feel, the mood, the atmosphere of those things. And I was debating, so I have a whole nother set of ideals that would have made these characters be younger, like high school age. And I'm like, I don't write middle grade or like young adult, like young. So I don't, whatever the stipulations are to classify something as young adult, I probably will, just by nature of how I write, just put a bunch of cousin or something in that's not supposed to be there. So I was like, okay, and I'm aging them up. So I have two different stories that kind of could run where I could do a YA story if I, you know, sat down and truly figured out those, whatever goes into what. But that's not what we're going to do. So they're aged up and there's a particular sound, a particular mood, a particular aesthetic that is in my head that I see. So like with this book, there's no outline yet. I'm doing the brain dump stage and I'm figuring things out, and I have a few scenes in my head. I have a few ideas of like ways that the story could go, what could happen. But I'm trying to make sense of it all. So it's like, think of like a tornado and it's spinning around and around. And it's all of these different thoughts, every single thing that I have in my head. But then think of like the things that are in the tornado. So the tornado goes over a house. And so all of these shingles and all of the siding and all of the lawn furniture gets swept up in the tornado. So where the thoughts is the actual tornado. Those things inside it are some of those concrete pieces that I'm starting to pull to develop this story. And so I'm in that tornado phase, so I don't know where I'm going to land, but I do feel pretty good about this. And I feel excited enough that I think this would hold me over for the month of April. I could get this done and then just jump right back into my work in progress. Like I said earlier, I do plan on still working on the installment that I was doing prior to this on the back end, but working between those two projects together. I'm going to get to the fun stuff, the like naming and whatnot, just to give myself a little bit of a break. So I have these ideas down. I'm going to revisit my Pinterest board and play the playlist that I have for this particular project and kind of let that go and develop different scenes, and then like figure out if I'm doing like the 3-act story structure, the Save the Cat, the 4-act story. Like I'm just going to figure something out. And for me, and I know other authors do this as well, but I'm trying to develop the story, but I really want to nail down the ending, because I think getting the ending done, not necessarily first, but like early on, will help to map that story. It helps to work backwards. And even if I decide at the end, everybody dies, that could always be changed. Again, I don't know when this will come out, or even if it will, if this is just a personal project to see, you know, what can I do if I give myself time to really dive into an idea that came out of nowhere. So that's what I'm going to do now. Get to the Pinterest board, start developing some stuff, start fleshing out these characters, and going from there. I may do another update. If not, thank you guys. I'm 𝘾𝙤𝙡𝙚. I am a author, indie author, writing and sharing my indie author journey. And if there's more clips, just keep watching. I'll wrap it up. Either way, thank you for following me on this April NaNo new project summer journey.
Real back, feel that vibe in the air, fingers are snapping. I am a sinner, said the saint to the pastor, baptized by the west side, it's the age of the trapper. You're old enough to enter, age ain't a factor, so the youngest be strapped, pointing pistols in classes. I smell fear and a smile, hear the pain and the laughter. Focus is hocus pocus when brokers a joke, so dope is the locust that's eating when pockets low.